Hey everyone, thank you for being on the webinar today. My name is Cody. I'm an implementation specialist here at Payfluence, and
My name is Remick, and I am a client service specialist here at Payfluence.
so today we are going to be diving into reporting in iSolved. And there's a lot of reporting in iSolved, and we're going to cover as much as we can today. But we want you to know, we're not able to hit everything on this call, just because there is so much reporting, which is a great thing. But we want to make sure you feel equipped to find the reports that you need for all of your needs. So, with that, we are going to go ahead and jump into iSolved and dive into some reporting. So as you can see on my screen, I'm just on the landing page, and the first place I want to go to look at some reports is I'm going to open the reporting tab and go to My Reports. So when I think of reporting, this is probably the place where you can find all of your reports. There are literally hundreds of reports that you could pull from here. So you can see on my screen, we've got deduction reports, retirement reports for specific states, COBRA reports. There's so much. So some of this may apply to your company. Some of these reports may be really, really helpful, and some may not. To make this navigation a little bit easier to try and find what you need, we have these different report categories. So we have ACA reports, OSHA reports. Just as an example, I'll look at the payroll package reports. So to use the report category, I just click on what I want, and then I need to click filter. When I click filter, I can view the different payroll specific reports, something like, a basic payroll register. Although it's in the report archive, I could also pull it here if I wanted to. And something like a payroll invoice, you can quickly pull it here. So just to show you how to pull a report, let's say I wanted to pull a payroll invoice, and I click on the report. I configure my options here. If I have a specific pay group or payroll that I want to look at this for, then I can do that. And then I want to click Generate Report. When I click Generate Report, the system is going to process this report, and it is going to put it in My Reports queue to begin processing in the background. And you'll go to the reports queue to actually pull this report after it has finished processing. Once complete, you will see the View Report on the right-hand side in blue. And that is how you pull a report, is you simply click View Report. So you can see that there for the payroll invoice. I'm going to jump back into my reports and just show you that there are many different types of reports that you can pull. So just looking at my list here, this is an ACA report, but it is a report type of by payroll run. So what that means is that when I want to pull this ACA specific report, I can pull it by payroll run. So I pick the payroll, I run the report, and I'll see the information on this report for this specific payroll. But there's other types of reports. Right below it is an ACA monthly measurement where I can pull it by month. There's an absence report here where I can pull it by date range. So just pay attention to this report type as you're going through iSolve reports, and make sure, if you're trying to find something for a specific month or from January 1st until today, you probably want something like a date range report. If you're trying to find it for a specific payroll, you probably need just a by payroll run report type.
Okay, some other reports that I want to highlight in my reports. The first one is the year-to-date register with employer taxes. So that is a great report to start running when it's November, December, because this report has every employee and it's going to show you their year-to-date amount. So all you do is click Generate Report, go to My Reports queue. I've already run this report, so it's all ready. But each employee is on here and you can see their earnings, their taxes, their deductions, all of those. And this is a great report to start checking and making sure all the year-to-date amount information is correct. We start doing the W-2s in January, and you want to make sure this information is correct by December, because you don't want to have to do any W-2 amendments. Those are no fun. Nobody wants to do that.
No.
So this is a great report to run to just make sure that your employees' year-to-date data is correct. Another report that is a great report to run is the Leave Accruals report. So you can see here that we have the export and the report. The export is Excel, the report is PDF. You can remember that because export Excel. And so I've already pulled the leave accruals export, so I've popped that right up. And this will show you each employee, the sick, our demo company has sick and vacation, so there's going to be a different tab for each one. And so for sick, you can see the year-to-date amount each employee started with, what they've used, and their ending amount. And so this is a great report to look at if you want to know the time off balances for all of your employees. The next report I'd like to highlight is the deduction register by code. So this is a report I get asked about a lot. So if your company has medical, dental, vision, whatever benefits your company has, this is a great report to run because you can see by each employee how much medical that has been deducted month to date, quarter to date, year to date. Same with every deduction, but this is a fantastic report for that. Another great report is the retirement report, which kind of does the same thing, but instead it's for 401k. So if you have 401k, this is a great report to run to see the month to date, quarter to date, year to date amounts of 401k that have been deducted. And if you have match, it'll also show the match on that report. So those are my reports. Now I'd like to talk about the top 3 questions that we get asked about my reporting. The first question that we have is, I'm getting audited. What reports do I need? So the first report you'll need if you're getting audited is the payroll register export by date range. This is a fantastic report. So you'll put in the from and to date, whatever the auditor gave you of the date range. Click all these boxes, include hours, employer taxes, employer match, workers' comp, and work location. Then click generate report and go to my reports queue. I've already pulled this report, but this report is going to show you each individual employee, every single check date. It's going to show you their job, their work location. It's going to show you their gross, their net, their hours, the dollars that they've earned. It will also show you any deductions they have, and then any taxes and employer taxes. And then the very last columns will be your workers' comp if you have that in our system. And if you have those percents in our system, you'll be able to see those on there. So this report is going to have every single check date, and if you go to the very bottom, you'll have the totals for the report that you pulled. Another great thing is you can click on the employee date range totals, and this will show you each individual employee and just have a total line for each individual employee. So it's easier to look at if you're pulling a big date range for that.
Yeah, this is a great report. We refer to it often just as a quick way to see what have all my employees been paid, so far this year, or whatever date range that you would like. It's a really quick way to see their gross pay, their net pay, and obviously earnings and deductions alongside that.
If I were to choose a favorite report, this would be my favorite report. It is the best report, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree. This is a fantastic report, and we refer to it often. Just a ton of information, and it presents pretty well with these nice tabs at the bottom. So the other question alongside that with someone going through an audit or a company going through an audit is, how can I find my quarterly returns? So we are in currently the My Report section of iSolve, but there's a lot in reporting. You may have all of this, you may not be able to see everything, but you will be able to see your return archive if you're the admin for the company. This is where all of the returns are housed for your company. We are upload these to the return archive. And as you can see, I can configure different options. So I want to see, just for an example, all of my 2023 returns. I have the option here to narrow that down either by quarter or month, but I just want to see all of them. And then if I were operating, or our company were operating in multiple states, I could see a specific state report, or in this case, I just want to see all of them for 2023. When I click filter, I get a list of all of my reports that I can pull, or all of the returns for my company for that period. And then I'm able to view a specific report just by clicking on the blue view report on the right. Or if I wanted to pull multiple reports at one time, I could click the check boxes here and click view selected forms. You also have the checkbox at the top to see all of them. That will open up into a new tab with a PDF of all of these reports. So that's a quick way to pull any of your reports for any particular period in whatever year you're looking for. Another question we get most often is going to be, where can I find my company's W-3 or just the summary of the W-2s? So we're in the return archive, and the same logic is that we want to go to the year-end report archive to see all of that information. So this is our demo company. Obviously, this is not going to have what you see. We did not generate file W-2s for all of our test employees, obviously. But this is an example of what you will see. So if I need to find my W-3s for the company, I'm going to go to the W-3 transmittal report, and then I can click the View Report button in the Actions column on the right-hand side. If I need to see all my individual employees' W-2s, you would see it here underneath the W-2 pressure seal, and you would have the same option here. You will not have an error on yours. And the same thing for your 1099 employees. You would have a 1099 pressure seal here. If you have any 1099 employees that you'll be able to download, to print, whatever you need to do with that report. But all of these reports, including everything you saw in the return archive, again, are going to stay in this reporting. They will stay here for as long as you need them, as long as you're a client with us. This information will be here for you. In addition to that, if you have ACA reporting as part of your payroll package with us, you will see your ACA reports here in the year-end report archive. And lastly, one of the big questions we get is when will these reports be available? So for year-end reports, all of these reports will be available at the end of January. So at the very latest, it will be January 31st. Generally, we have those ready before that. And then for the end of each quarter, they will be ready at the end of the month following the end of the quarter. So for Q3 that ends on 9/30, all of the return reports will be ready on 10/31.
Okay, the third most often question that we get asked is what report should I review before processing payroll? So those reports that you should review are the payroll register and the payroll summary, and those are the top two reports. But most of you probably already know to pull those two reports. So when you go to process payroll, you click the preview reports, you look at the payroll register and summary. But there are a few other reports that I'll highlight. So after you've processed your payroll, your reports go to the report archive. So I'm here to show you all the reports. And I am on the pay date year of 2024, and I can see I have a list of every payroll that I have processed this year. So I want to see 7/31. So I'll click this drop down. I can look at that payroll summary, the payroll register. Another great report to look at is the active employees not paid report. This will help me make sure that I'm not missing paying anyone. So I can click this report and I can see that list there. There's another great report, which is the payroll invoice. If you ever have questions about your billing, this is a great report to look at. For example, their first payroll in January, your billing will probably be a little higher. It's because the W-2s are on that payroll. So you'll have all of these reports right here that you can readily look at in the report archive after a payroll has been processed. And these are also the reports that are shown when you preview payroll and look at those reports. So the report archive is a fantastic place to go if you ever need to access any report, any payrolls that you've ever processed in our system.
Yeah. So these will, like Remy said, show any reports that you have processed. And again, just to simplify this, these are listing the reports that are on your preview report list. So it's just taking those and taking the final version, capturing that information, and saving it here. Like Remick said, for as long as you're with us, you can view any of your payroll reports for any of those years. Lastly, we want to show you just really one of the easiest reporting tools in iSolved, and that is taking us away from the reporting menu and going to the employee summary or the employee list page. So hopefully you're familiar with this. If you're an administrator with us, that you have seen just a basic list of your employees. There's a lot that you can do here just to get basic information for them. So as you can see, you have each employee's information, first name, last name, hire date, pay type, all that basic information. Sometimes you need to just pull a report to look at this. While you're on this page, you can click the column names to actually sort by them. And then you have a filter button beside them where you can also filter on things, let's say like pay type. If I just want to see the hourly employees, I could do this, filter it, and just see a list of my hourly employees. And then in addition to that, on this page, you can click on the column chooser on the far right hand side. And you can see there are different, there are different pieces of data that can be pulled into this table. Something like social security number, you can drag that in here. Sometimes you just need a report for something benefits related with each employee's name and their social security number. You can drag that in here, and then lastly, export it to Excel. Clicking this button will initiate an Excel export of the information that you see on your screen here. So this is a super helpful reporting tool we don't want to skip over. You can create your own quick reports here. In addition to that, you can go underneath Employee Admin Tools and Employee Analytics, and there's a lot of just ready reports in Employee Analytics. So you can see on the left-hand side many pages that you can just click on and get this information quickly. So if I want to see all my companies or every one of my company's anniversary, it's coming up soon, I can click on Anniversaries, and it defaults to showing me the next 7 days who has an anniversary. So Golden Retriever has a anniversary in a few days. I can see that. I can also click this drop down and see October anniversaries, just to look at this month and see who has an anniversary, how long they've been with the company, and maybe we celebrate that in a company meeting or whatever it may be. The same thing applies for birthdays, very similar screen. Each of these screens, like certifications, documents on file, a lot of that's dependent on if you have that set up in iSolve, but if that information is there, you can pull a ready report for it. Lastly, I want to show you the employee salary / hourly rate list. If you're an administrator and you have the ability to see salaries, you're going to see this page, and you will be able to see a list of your employees, the hourly rate that's currently assigned to those employees, and then what that equals with their pay per salary. So you can get that information really quickly on this screen, and obviously export it to Excel as well. So this is a quick place to get this salary information if you need it. Lastly, we just want to say thank you so much for being here and for being a part of this webinar. So we want to let you know, if you need any additional help with this, please reach out to your customer service representative. We